Around the time I turned 40, I started to realize something that I just couldn't ignore and kept gnawing away at me. The fact that the more I spent time around other people, the less I was actually moving forward in my own life. And that's not an easy thing to admit to yourself, because it forces you to make a choice. You either stay the same or you start pulling away. But the part I didn't expect was how much that decision was ultimately going to cost me. You see, at heart, I'm quite the social butterfly. I like to be around people. I like to, mingle. But that was fine when I was young. But there came a point where I wanted to do things with my life that I just couldn't do if I was constantly working at a 9 to 5 and then going out to see my friends after work, having drinks, being recreational, going out at the weekends when I'm not working. And I suddenly found that I just had no time to do anything else. And it started to make me resent myself in some way. Like, I had all these ambitions and ideas and things I wanted to do with life, but the fact that I was always being social, and then when I wasn't working, when I wasn't being social, I was working. So those were the only two things I was doing, and I wanted to really make something of my life, and I wanted to start a business. And I started looking into that, and it actually takes quite a lot of time to set up a business and make it work. And when I first started to get this business on the go, off the ground, I realized that I just couldn't be spending all my time with friends and family and attending social occasions and events and stuff constantly. I had to give myself time. And at the same time, I'm the kind of person that I like my me time. I like to be on my own sometimes. And so when I was on my own and working on this business, I kind of let the rest of the world fall away, like it wasn't really there anymore. I was just doing what I had to do. Of course, I was still working my 9 to 5 job, but I was taking a lot more time to be by myself, and I kind of stopped socializing altogether. I just worked home, work on the business, work on getting it off the ground. Friends and family can come later. That's what I was thinking. Friends and family will come later. And I did get that business off the ground. It didn't really succeed, and I ended up closing the business after a year. But friends started to message me and be like, dude, where you at? You ain't about no more. Wait, like, you just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth one day. Like, are you okay? Is everything fine? And that was a few people. Other people were like, oh, you don't come out no more. You're boring. What, have you got a problem with me? Have I done something to offend you? Making it all about them, trying to play the victim and all that. Me shit. Well, that cost me a few friendships, because people legitimately thought that I had some grievance against them, and it didn't matter what I said. The fact that I wouldn't come out, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that, it cost me some friendships and people that I thought were really good friends of mine. But at the end of the day, what I wanted to do with my life, what I needed to do with my life, the ambitions that I had, the things that I wanted to do, were just more important. They were bigger than going out and socializing with friends. And I tried to explain to people, like, it's not forever. I'm in the middle of something. Just don't worry about me. I'm fine, and I'll get back to you. We'll go out and we'll meet up. And maybe I should have took some time to socialize with people instead of pulling away completely. But at the time, I felt that's what I really needed to do. But what I also started to realize during that process, and while I had my business going and I was just literally working non-stop, after I'd finished work, I'd come home, I'd just be doing what I had to do for my business and trying to make this money, trying to get this hustle up, you know, as you do. I started to notice that the real friends, the real people, were the ones who just kind of were like, are you all right, dude? What's going on? Like, how come you just disappeared? And I'd let them know, you know, I'm trying to get this business off the ground. I know I kind of disappeared. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to just like ignore everyone. That's not my intention. But I just had to do this thing. And like 3 or 4 people were like, sweet, dude, you do you. Chat to me when you're ready. We'll be here. Don't worry. We ain't going nowhere. You know where we are. We're in the pub up the road, which is where a good group of my friends usually are on a few evenings a week. Maybe a few too many evenings, to be fair. But, you know, we're social. We like to go out and have a drink and have a laugh and stuff. But that process of getting the business off the ground showed me just who my friends were. And people that I thought that I'd known for years, longer than some of the people that were cool with me being away doing my own thing. I realised that those people were just negative Nancy's. They weren't really interested in me unless I could do something for them. And I get it. Some people can be selfish like that. Trust me, I can be selfish like that sometimes. But it just showed me what real friendship is. Something that I didn't realise, I didn't know what it was before, you know. And even my family, some people in my family are like, well, you know, we're on the end of a phone. You can still message, you can still phone. But I just got so involved in doing my own thing. And I'm very happy with my own company as well. I'm somebody who's not afraid to be alone and with their own thoughts. And, you know, I'm comfortable in my own skin and I like to be around myself. I don't always like to be around other people, but I was quite a social butterfly. But it shocked me that people would be so upset about me having to drift away a little bit and go and do my own thing for a while because I suddenly wasn't with them and it was all about them. And, you know, I also noticed something else about these people. These were the kind of people that were happy with me because I was out with them doing their thing, spending my money. Some of them weren't working, didn't really have any money, and I would be supplying them, you know, cigarettes here and there and blah, blah, blah. And when all that kind of got cut off, and not by me being selfish and just being like, I'm not giving no one nothing no more, just by me wanting to do my own thing and didn't have much time for anybody at that time. They were obviously negative people who only really wanted my company for what I could give them and what I could do for them, you know. And so it made me realize that people are shallow. Some people are shallow. Some people are greedy and some people are selfish. And then there's everybody else. So at the end of the day, sometimes you have to say to yourself, what's really important in my life? What am I going to do with my life? What do I want to do with my life, more importantly? You have to figure that out. And sometimes you have to get away from the noise to be able to figure that out. And, you know, I started to figure it out and life became a little bit more clear. I'd started giving myself ambitions and goals, and I started working towards them. And I started to realize that a lot of these people that were kind of pissed off or butthurt about the fact that I wasn't around and giving them stuff and doing whatever for them, they were never really worth being around in the first place. You know, I mean, like I said, some of them were unemployed. Some of them didn't really want to be employed. And it just showed me that you have to kind of get rid of negativity in your life sometimes, you know, and to do that, you have to be alone. You have to be on your own so that you can think and that you can process things and you can understand things a little better, because you've got the time to, like I say, process it all in your mind. And so that's what I did. You know, I pulled away from pretty much everybody. I stopped being a social butterfly. I started to work on my own life, and my own life did improve. And it taught me some lessons, you know. It caused me a little bit of pain because, you know, there was people that I genuinely was proper good mates with. Unfortunately, it's just that that's just what I thought. You know, to them, I wasn't really their friend. I was just somebody who, how can I put it? How can I explain it? I was just, you know, I was somebody who could do stuff for them, could give them things, that they could rely on me when they had nothing, that I would be there and I would have cigarettes, money for alcohol, whatever the situation was, you know. Or they'd want to come round and play PlayStation with me or whatever. So it cost me some friendships. But at the same time, it taught me some good lessons about life. That if you want things in your life, if you want to do stuff with your life, sometimes you have to pull away from other people and concentrate on yourself. And that doesn't mean you're a bad friend. It doesn't mean that you're an asshole, you know, or it doesn't mean that you are going to forget people or you just don't care anymore. It just means that right now I've got to do what I've got to do, but I'll come back on the scene when I'm good and ready. And people either understand it or they don't. And if they don't, then they're probably not worth being around in the first place. And if they do, that's because they're a real friend and they care. And those are the kind of people that you do want to have around you. You know, the people who were happy for me to do my own thing and pull away, they were the people that when I was around again, when I did have a little bit more time on my hands, how's the business going? What have you been doing? What have you been up to? That's really cool. I'm so proud of you, bro. That's sick. That's amazing that you tried to start a business or blah, whatever. And that made me feel really good about myself. And it made me feel secure that I knew I was doing the right thing. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we all have our own things going on sometimes. You have to pull away. And that's just the bottom line. Sometimes you have to focus on you. And if other people can't deal with that, then that's on them. That's not on you. It's on them. So don't worry about them. Get rid of the negative people in your life. Get rid of the negative stuff in your life and start focusing on you. If you find that you're stuck in some social hole where all you do is spend time with other people, but you've got ambitions and ideas, try just pulling away for a little while. It's amazing. It's scary because you know you have to do things by yourself, but it's an amazing feeling when you achieve stuff and you do it by yourself. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble on now, so I think we're going to wrap up there. And I'll say, my usual, as always, if this video landed with you, like the video, share the video, subscribe for more content around midlife, deep thoughts and personal growth. I'm Simon, this is Midlife Mapped, and I'd just like to say, till the next time, keep a positive mental attitude, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.